guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do some makeup. I posted a look on my Instagram really recently and I got quite a few messages asking for a tutorial, so I thought I would do that for you guys. I have a new way of doing the makeup on my skin, my base, that I really like. So I want to show you that, and also how to get this really cool and simple graphic liner. I think sometimes it's quite tricky to know where to start with graphic liner, so I've found this way works really easy. It's probably the easiest way to do it. And I just thought we would do that together. At the same time that people are asking for the makeup tutorial, I also got asked to do a hair tutorial. This is just my hair when I leave it to dry after washing it. So unfortunately I can't do that. So I'm a bit frizzy today. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited to show you the skin. I really love the way that this skin looks. I've been kind of doing this skin now for maybe a week. I just think it looks really gorgeous, really nice. So some of these products you'll definitely have seen me use before. Do you know what? I'll do it in the order that I actually did it, right? At the weekend, I have this thing, this kind of like fun, random, quirky thing I do where I just play with my makeup. I don't film it, I don't plan it, I just kind of sit down and start doing my makeup, and you know, sometimes it turns out really natural, sometimes it's a bit wild. I got asked to do a graphic liner look ages ago and I was looking at pictures of Twiggy and I thought it looked quite similar. So I'm going to start off with my eyes, so I might zoom you in. First thing you're going to need is a little angle brush and an eyeshadow. It doesn't really matter what eyeshadow you use. I have the Natasha Denona Camel palette here, and I'm just going to use probably this shade, the darkest shade, and I'm going to roughly sketch out where I want my graphic liner to go. Something cool about this look is there's no eyeshadow, there's no base, there's no nothing like that. I think it actually just adds to the look. So I'm dipping in with my angle brush and I'm going to just keep my eye open. There we go, do you see that? So something that I really like about this liner is how high I keep it. I think it makes my eyes look much more open. So by sketching out this line, we've got a stencil of where to follow with the eyeliner. And there we go, I kind of like kicked it out a little bit. Okay, and then because it's just eyeshadow, you know, if you make mistakes you can just rub it off, which is good. There we go, I've got a little cotton bud here. I'm going to take some micellar water. These are like wooden cotton buds. I mean, I don't I don't know if this is going to be the exact same as what I did the other day, but I'm going to try. And I've got no other makeup on yet. I don't know why I started with this part, but I did, and it worked really well. And because no liner is actually going to be sitting in the crease, it doesn't crease at all. So by doing this, you can really just kind of clean it up and map it out. I'm going to go straight in with my liner. Randomly have this little mini Trooper liner from Kat Von D. It's not called Kat Von D anymore, it's called KVD Vegan Beauty. But this is the old packaging, but this is their Trooper liner. And I'm going to just really take my time and go over what I've done. So I'm just starting off really thin, getting used to the liner, and then I kind of start making it thicker in certain areas. So this, I'm going to just be quiet when I do this because I can't speak and do this at the same time. It's also, I find it easier to do it in a big mirror, so this isn't really helping me right now. Maybe I'll change my mirror. So you can just start tracing it, and you can make it as thick or as thin as you like. Okay, I'm going to do this side and then I'm going to start building them both up. Okay, I'm going to start making them thicker now. It's cool, isn't it? So see with this bit, just take your time, just chill, try and have fun. Literally, I think I spent about 10 minutes just going in little bits, adding little bits of thickness. And the same thing, because we don't have any makeup on, you can go in with like a really small, like this brush would be perfect actually. You could go in with a little brush like this with micellar water and really clean it up, make it sharp. You can also do this with a gel liner and a brush if that's more comfortable. You can even just do it with black eyeshadow if that makes you more comfortable. Something else that's good is because I don't have any makeup on, I can really lean on my face when I'm doing the liner, which I think is really important. I actually might leave it there just now. I might go back in and thicken it up later. So the next part is actually doing the liner. So for this look, I thought it was really nice to kind of follow the same angle, but only do a kind of quite a thin liner, and it's like a half liner. So I just went straight onto my bare skin. And I quite like the fact that I've got a natural kind of shine in my lid, natural tones coming through. See, it's actually quite simple. It is actually quite simple. So next would be lashes. And the lashes that I used that I think worked so well for this are my Tatti Lashes TL Jamie ones, and I'm going to chop them in half. And when I say I'm going to chop them in half, I've literally just got these big scissors. I don't know where my little scissors have gone. So here's the lash here. I'm literally going to cut it like just under half. There we go. And I'm just going to glue out my lashes. And then I just leave them to dry off a little bit. The mascara I'm going to use is the Urban Decay Lash Freak. So great for this look. And I'm going to do my top lashes first. And I'm not going to do my bottom at the moment, and I will show you why later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to really focus this mascara. I'm going to do it all over, right? But I'm going to mostly really enhance this front part. So see if I look straight ahead, you can see I've got a lot more fluffiness going on. And this is what's going to make your half lashes look seamless. If you don't do this, half lashes can look a bit silly just because it's going from no lashes to half lashes. So I actually do think you need a really good mascara. Just because I wear lashes quite a lot doesn't mean that I wouldn't use a good mascara to get this nice, like, kind of fluffy effect to start with. Nice. It is such a good mascara. I just think there's something so, like, sassy and sexy about a little graphic liner. And then I just kind of let my mascara dry a little bit before I stick my lashes on, and then we'll do our base. Boom. Do you see that? Oh, see, because it does, I think, naturally blend in really nicely. Nice, right, let's zoom you out into your skin. So this skin is just my favourite at the moment, and it's a lot lighter than I used to wear, I think. So this is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. What a throwback. I used to use this all the time, and I didn't stop for any reason. That is actually something that I do quite a lot. Like, I'll love a product and then I'll just stop using it because I move on to the next thing, or I forget about it, or I'm trying something new out. It's such a good one. It smells unbelievable. So if you're not a fragrance lover, you won't like this. But my skin handles fragrance fine, and I do enjoy the experience of it. And I think this smells like orange cheesecake or something. So good. Next product. You guys will definitely know this. The Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. This is such a great product. It's not a foundation, it's not a primer, it's not a highlighter. It's a little bit of all of them. I use the shade number 5. It's just so good. I really love it for underneath a full face of foundation. If I'm going out and I've got a lot of coverage on, I love it by itself just for nice glowiness. That's kind of what I'm doing today, actually. So I've just applied that kind of all over, and I'm going to buff that out with the brush. You can use your fingers for this, but I just love using my brushes. Buff that into the skin. You'll see it gives me a slight colour. It just evens out my skin tone a little bit. I think it gives me a glow all over as well. As far as coverage goes, it's like lightest of the light coverage. Because it's so glowy as well, it's not, I think I definitely wouldn't use it as a tinted moisturiser or anything. I would always need maybe just a teensy bit of powder. Just otherwise you're going to be really glowy. Making sure I'm buffing that right in. And that's what's going to give us a lovely tint to the skin, nice glow, but not much coverage. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some coverage, but just where I want it. So I'm going to use the NARS Pot Concealer. This is the Soft Matte Concealer in the shade Ginger. I cannot wait to try this foundation. And this is the Smith 103 brush. It's actually a highlighting brush, but I'm going to go straight into the pot concealer, and I'm just going to start... And I'm just going to start adding coverage where I want it. So that is usually around the sides of my nose, my chin, mostly like the centre of my face really. Underneath my eyes. Nice. A wee bit at my tip of my nose. So that is a really light layer of concealer just where I want it, in the centre of my face mostly. I've got a wee blemish just here, so I'll build it up there. And because it's matte, it works really well with the super glowy base and the moisturiser. They actually work really nicely together. Nice. So that's a really nice natural skin. And up close, I definitely don't look like I've got much foundation on, if at all. Lovely. So the next step is kind of like cream contouring, but not. This is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Amande. This is one of my favourite products. I like both of these concealers in both colours, in both different types, if you know what I mean. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to warm up my face. So I just get the wand and I just draw. It's so like old school, I feel, but because it's a concealer, it's going to add a tiny bit of coverage, but it's also going to look like skin no matter what. And actually, I love going at the sides of my nose. And it adds a little bit of depth, but it mostly adds like a really nice colour to my skin, a really nice tone for some bronze. I don't really go underneath my jaw, just because I have pretty much no product around here, so I don't want to add anything too much. And I'm just going to start buffing that in kind of, you know, patting motions. Actually, my foundation brush for my nose is perfect. Yeah, I'm going to use my foundation brush. I've changed my mind. There we go. So I'm just kind of patting. And do you see that that really nice shadow it's cast? And then because it's just a concealer, you can just buff it in. It's funny, this it really actually reminds me of like summer skin. I'm obviously having a hard time with the seasonal change. But that, oh my god, I'm obsessed. I just think it's just the perfect amount of sculpt and coverage, but not much coverage. Do you know what I mean? Okay, and then now is when I would go in with my powders. So I'm going to go in with my Hoola Caramel bronzer, and I'm just going to add a light layer of that to set that concealer. But that for me, I think that's my favourite bronze I've done in so long. And I know it's an extra step, but for me it is kind of worth it to get that finish. And the reason that I even started doing this is because I've really been enjoying using 2 products to bronze my face. I think it just gives a wee bit more dimension. And you know, we are adding dimension to our face, so that makes sense to use 2 products. I'm just going to go over my nose. If you ever feel like you need to tap it back, you can just use your foundation brush. And I've got quite a lot of like different products on this brush, so it just kind of merges everything together, I think. Powder. I've used a lot of cream products, a lot of really glowy products, so I'm going to use a little bit of the Laura Mercier Translucent Honey setting powder. This is the loose one, and I love getting a fair amount of that powder on my brush, but I really push it into the brush. Tap off the excess, and then what you've got is a brush that's completely loaded with product, and you can start off light and then you can press in a little bit heavier. I just think it applies the product in really nice sheer layers rather than getting like one big chunk of powder on your face. Nice, and that's taken away any kind of unwanted shine from any areas, but we've still got nice glowy skin from the side. Blush. I'm going to use this one from Becca. This is Tiger Lily. You can see it's a gorgeous kind of orangey colour. I'm going to get some of that on my brush, tap it off to make sure there's not too much, and then I actually just love patting my blush on nice and high up. Wee bit on my nose. Isn't that such a nice colour? This is definitely very summery skin. Okay, for highlight, I have not used this in the longest time. This is the Natasha Denona Super Glow in the shade Light Medium. So I'm going to use a little bit of that on an eyeshadow brush just to add some nice glow. Lovely. Gorge. And then I'm going to add a little bit of that just above my brow as well. I'm going to zoom you back in and let's do our eyebrows. Oh my god, I just realised how uneven the backdrop is. I'm really sorry. Okay, so let's finish these brows and these eyes. I've got here the 24-hour brow setter by Benefit, and I'm going to take my time to go through my brows and really try and get them nice and fluffy. There's going to be no harsh edges in these brows. I just think it looks so cool with the graphic liner having quite a like deconstructed brow. So I'm going right in, and I'm even going to use my finger to flatten that out to get them super fluffy. Do you see the difference? So much better. Does anyone have any tips for growing out your eyebrows? Because I can't do it. Every stray hair I see, I have to get it. How on earth do you do it? Do you just do it bit by bit? Like I've got a few stray hairs under here that I'm just leaving, but it's really hurting my feelings. Do you know what I mean? I just don't know how to tackle this job. Look at that though. Best brow gel ever. I'm going to let that dry. Now for under my eye. It's so funny because nobody mentioned this in my photo, and I got a lot of comments about how long my bottom lashes had become. They are longer because I'm using a lash serum, but I drew in fakies. I drew in some fake bottom lashes. I'm going to show you how I did that. I literally just got my eyeliner and I'm going to go 1, 2. Okay, see how simple that is, and it was quick. I mean, that might have been a bit too quick, to be fair. They're a bit messy. Let's just do that on the other side. So I've done 5, so let's try and do the same amount. 1, 2, 3. I feel like I could do one more at the side. Right, so that looks kind of ridiculous to me at the moment. But wait until I've got bottom mascara on and you'll see it works a treat. It works so well. So I'm going to use the same mascara, Urban Decay Lash Freak. And I just make sure there's not too much product on the brush. I scrape off a little bit. You get quite a lot of product on the brush when you pull it out from the start. And then I'm just going to slowly build up my lashes. And now what this does is it does hide the lashes that I've drawn on a little bit. It just makes it look like it's my actual lashes. It's pretty pretty genius. It's not quite as extravagant as the Twiggy days. It's still absolutely there. And if you were looking at me, you would see that I'd done it. But in a photo, it's genius. And also, I actually don't care if people look at me and see that I've drawn on my bottom lashes. I don't mind. But it makes our eyes look really big. Nice, super lashy, especially with these falsies. Okay, last step in the brows is I'm going to take Gimme Brow Plus in the shade number 4 from Benefit. That's a new one. And I'm going to slowly build up these brows. They're pretty much cemented in place. And I'm just going to really flick this product through the root. And it's going to slightly darken them up, but also give them a little bit of a kind of fuller look, which I think really matches the whole bushy vibes. That's the look I'm going for today. Super bushy. Quite different for us, isn't it? Okay, I need to draw my freckle. For my freckle, I use the same thing every time. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Feline Flick in the shade Super Brown. So I'm going to draw that on. Nice. Right, let's zoom out and do our lips. But do you see what I mean about the bottom lashes just working? I love it. Let's add a little bit of this highlight to our inner corner. Nearly forgot. This is another great tip for just you really adding some brightness to the inner corner of the eye, and also it just makes your eyes look super awake. For me, it makes my eyes look like they sit slightly further apart as well, which I enjoy. Okay, lips. I went for a super nudie light pink and I love it, and someone had the audacity to say, why do you always do the same lipstick? This is pink. It's not even nude, it's pink. So the joke's on you. Let's line our lips. This is the Victoria Beckham lip definer in the shade number 4, and I'm going to really overdraw in the centre. I have a really kind of uneven lip line, if that makes sense. It really bleeds from bright pink to my skin colour, and I hate it. I kind of want maybe I maybe want my lips tattooed just for a defined line. I feel like as soon as I'm warm as well, my lips go such an intense like red colour almost, and the line gets so like frizzy. That's not the word I want. It doesn't get frizzy, it gets like the edge of my lips just bleeds so much. It doesn't bleed, that's gross. Halloween though. How do I describe it? It's like the edge of my lips is really like blurry. It's like really blurry between my lip and my skin colour, and sometimes it just looks rubbish. I can't just do it with lip liner every day, to be fair. So lip liner's on, and then for my lipstick I'm going to use the Laura Mercier Velour Extreme Matte Lipstick in the shade Seaside. So I'm going to draw that on. Just really scribble it on. Give my lips a little pat together. It looks nuts. But I'm going to just use my finger to really pat that into my lip line. And this does dry down really nice and matte, but you just need to make sure you've got it blended the way you like. I'm not kidding, right? I think that makeup like this is going to be like the new winged liner. I think it's so flattering. I think it makes your eyes look so big and like feline and almost like doll-like, but in a really nice way, not a scary way. I'm just going to add my other little freckle. Wonder if if I thought about it hard enough that I'd get a real freckle just right there, right where I want it. So you guys, that is the finished look. I really don't think it's too difficult. It just takes practice with the graphic liner. I'm sure tons of you guys are way better at it than me. I really love the way that this skin looks. I don't know if you guys agree or not, but I just think it looks like real skin. You can still see all my little freckles, all my beauty marks through my foundation. I just really like it. I really like the way it looks. One actually last thing I want to do. I'm going to get a little bit of this highlight, and I just want to try a wee bit right at the bridge of my nose. Wow, and right at the tip. I think it's such a fun way to play with makeup. Obviously, you can take this anywhere you want. You can go huge with your graphic liner, you can join it up, you can do a little kind of 3-liner, whatever you bloody want. As long as it makes you happy, then that's all I care about. Yeah, I'd love to know what you guys think about my new skin routine. This is very exciting. I do absolutely still love my foundations. I would absolutely wear my foundation, you know, time and a place if I was going out for the night. I don't feel like this wears quite as well as like a full foundation powder situation, but for me, for every day, I think that this is the way that my skin looks its best and maybe its youngest as well. I think the loads of blush and the bronze and stuff, it gives me big summer vibes. So yeah, I'd love to know what you think down below. If you try this, please do let me know. I'll link everything that I used down below as well, and other than that, I will see you in the next video. Bye! It feels like a Friday today and it's Tuesday. For me, it also makes my eyes look... Ours. I don't know what's worse. The fact that I've got the Friday feeling on a Tuesday and I've still got... No, we're not even halfway through the week. I don't know what... Yeah. I don't know what was going... I don't know where I was going with that. I just tried to put the lid on the brush. Too much? Not enough? Not enough? A wee bit more? A great tip. I always do that sound. This is the NARS natural... Blah, 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 blah. No, it's not. And then I'm gonna... I feel a bit crazy doing this. But let's do that on the same side. The other side. Blah, blah. This is the... Blah. Oh, see, mess. Oh! I just dropped it. I'm so proud of myself.